Welcome to the Country Scroller. In today's video we'll be making this cradle. This is the cradle that Dustin made. Unfortunately, we do not have the original cradle our grandpa made, but this is what it's kind of going to be like. Now we're going to go over to the workbench and show you how to get this project started.
Alright, again, this cradle that we're making today is a pattern that my grandpa had, and this is a tribute project again for the cradle. And this particular one I created, and it's out of cedar. And I don't know exactly when I made it because I didn't sign the date on it, but it was about a year ago, I'd say. And it has some imperfections on it, like the cedar snapped, and I had to use some super glue to fix that. So I'm just going to be creating a new one today, and it's going to be out of cherry. So let's get started. For the pattern, I copied the one that my grandpa had. That way I wouldn't have to use an original. There's the front and back, the two sides, and then the bottom of it. Then again, the piece of wood we're using is a piece of cherry. If you watched my last video on the building a new workbench, I had shown at the very end the wood that I got from Oak Hardwoods. Well, this is one of the pieces of cherry that I got. It's a 1/4 inch thick by 8 inches wide, and they all come in 24 inches in length if you order the scroll saw ready hardwoods. So what I did was I just sort of mapped it out. That way I'd know that that's the back, that's the front, those are the two sides, and then that is the bottom. That way you can get the most out of your wood and you're not wasting too much. Like up there, I could easily create a little name or something out of that and then use that as a scrap for something else. So the wood is sort of expensive. My bill again was about 60 bucks if you watch that video. And you're not just paying for the wood, you're also paying for them to surface it and everything, because it is ready to cut right away on the scroll saw. It's already sanded, planed, jointed, and everything. So it's really good quality wood though, so can't beat the price for the quality that you're getting. So I'm going to go ahead and cut those pieces out, put the pattern on, and I'll be right back with you. Already I have all three of my pieces with the patterns on. And the reason why I have three is the front, back, and then the two sides. They're all the same, so I figure stack cutting will provide a faster way of doing this. And the clear box tape that I put on it, I know I usually say it helps lubricate the blade, but this cherry is classified as a hardwood. Not because it's hard, but because it's just a feature about it, like pine and all that's called softwoods if you're not familiar. But that's basically a no-brainer if you're been woodworking a long time. But the clear box tape helps prevent the burning, and it also helps hold the stack together. That way it doesn't shift around on you when you're cutting. Also, I added 2 nails in there so it would provide a little bit more stability to it after I get into those cuts over there, because it breaks away from the whole piece of wood. I wasn't smart about leaving some room there. On this one I did the same thing, just wrapped the tape around it and also put in 2 nails to help hold it together. And then the bottom piece doesn't have to be stack cut because there's only one of them, and that's just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do the entry holes here, and then I'll be right back with you and go over to the scroll saw. Already, the first piece I'm going to start cutting is the bottom here that has no entry holes to it. It's just the outside cut, as you can see. And I have a number 3 ultra reverse blade in there, and the ultra reverse cuts down on the burrs on the back of the piece after it's done being cut. And the number 3, I just selected a fresh blade because, again, this cherry is a hardwood and we don't want it to burn. So let's start cutting. I'm here for the last cut. Now, even though I did the stack cut thing here, I drilled a hole so I could insert to cut it out and it all be in one form. But since I didn't leave enough room on the outsides here on the two edges, I'm going to cut those first. That way it's still together, and then cut around. Alrighty, here's all the pieces from the project of the cradle here off the scroll saw, and we can go ahead and peel up the pattern. One thing I don't like doing with stack cutting and all that is wrapping the pieces of tape on the back side of it, because when you do some sort of fretwork, which this isn't as bad, but it just takes forever and a day to peel off every single little piece of tape on there, but it is worth it because it all stayed together and it turned out pretty good. So we can go ahead and peel the pattern off and then do a little dry run to see how it goes together. Already I have all the pattern peeled up, and did a little dry run to see how it fit all together, and the ends that go into the holes like that, I had to seam them down pretty good to fit in there, because I guess the pattern was a little bit less than a 1/4 inch wide, so that's how they fit in. So I just had to sand down the ends of them so it'd be alright. Now I'm going to just use my 1/4 sheet sander to do some finish sanding on the surface of them, and just get them real nice and smooth, and we'll be ready to do the glue up. Alrighty, I just glued it up, and sorry you didn't get to see it, but it was a pain in the rear to do because of juggling all those pieces and whatnot. But I managed to get some clamps on there, that way it doesn't, you know, like fall apart. But it turned out alright the way it went together. And go figure, I used old Oleans here, and that did the trick, and should do alright. I did hear a slight crack when I closed that clamp, but it did not split, so it is good. We'll just see in about hour or so. I'll just let it have some time to dry. So next clip we'll take the clamps off, and hopefully it'll be alright, and we can just sand her down a little bit more and give it a nice clear coat to bring out the cherry, and it'll be done. So we'll see you in this next clip. Already have the clamps off here now, and it turned out pretty good actually. I didn't really realize at first when I was gluing it up that this would rest on the bottom of it, so I could have put glue on that too, but just putting glue on the joints on the side there, it held it together pretty good, and it was snug putting it together, so it won't go anywhere. And I did all the finish sanding, by the way, with all the frizzlies and all that are off of it. So I'll go ahead and do a little burning in the bottom, and then I will give it a clear coat. Already got the burning in the bottom done. Now I can go ahead and give it a clear coat. Clear coat I'll use for this cradle is quite often used by me, the Cradle clear acrylic. Really brings out the grain, and it dries super fast on this too, less than 10 minutes. So I was trying to get the angle for you there that shows how it's bringing it out, so you can see. Brought out some of the grain there. I'll go ahead and finish spraying it, and then I'll give you the final look at it. And there's the final product.
Thanks for watching this video on this cradle. Sorry we do not have the original cradle that my grandpa had made, but we made one exactly like what he had. And again, this is tribute project number 3, and we'll be doing I think like 3 or 4 more tribute projects throughout the next month or so in the upcoming videos. So just keep checking our YouTube page for more videos, and see you next time on the Country Scroller. I'm Dylan.
Yeah, I'm Dustin.
Thanks for watching.